awesome to be here. Thanks for having me. Babs did a fantastic job. And he made me think about branded experiences and how do you get from good to great. And that's the opportunity I think we have as marketers, and particularly in India. I had an awesome experience last night at the Kingdom of Dreams. Has anybody been there? Raise your hand, just let me get a sense. Is that an awesome brand experience or what? You walk into this amazing quality experience about India. And physically, the architecture is beautiful, the quality of what's been done there is fantastic, and how interesting that behind this entire experience is technology. This place runs on a digital infrastructure. If you see any kind of branded information there, it's digital, trying to reach out to consumers. And it's the best of both the tradition of India and the amazing advancement of India. I was so tired from the 23-hour trip to get here, but I found energy to be at the Kingdom of Dreams, and it was I highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't been. So the future of digital marketing, who can claim to know about that? I really don't believe anyone can, because digital marketing is in its infancy. Digital media was really just invented 15 years ago. I've been in marketing longer than digital media has been around. And so by definition, we've been doing our jobs differently than we have to do them today because digital media is absolutely surrounding us. So I hope to share with you today some of my thoughts about the future and some information about today's environment that I think is particularly interesting about India and what a unique position each of you are in to lead this function around the globe. So let's get started. Anytime there's change, some people are scared of it. And this change that's surrounding us is all about opportunity. And we talked a little bit about this in Bab's presentation, but experimentation is so important because we don't know the answer to a lot of things about what's effective about digital media, particularly as it relates to human relationships, social engagement, using technology for the first time to do things we've never done before. So that's why I say I think India is so unique, because you're in this room because you're not afraid of change, because you're embracing change, because you're trying to lead your businesses, your peers, and your companies and your brands through this change so that you can break out and be even more successful. So if anything, I think the key here is to not function about all the things you know work, but to try the new things you're not sure of. And it's a blend of that every day that gets us the excitement of the risk and then the guarantee of the kind of results we want as marketers. So use this change as a chance to lead. Use this change as a chance to be in front of people. And the growth that's in India around digital, I mean, all the stats have been cited. Brad did a good job citing the stats with graphs and hockey sticks to the right, and Babs did a good job of talking about it. 100 million internet users in India, mobile growing like crazy. It's kind of obvious that we need to embrace this and we need to do things that haven't been done before. What strikes me about India, to be quite honest, is we're really far behind with advertisers on how to use digital media and with companies on how to use digital media. 4% of the industry, a measly 4%. When our lives are about being connected online. So we have the opportunity to really change the paradigm. It just makes no sense where we are in the world, where we are with living our lives, and how we're spending our time when we're not using digital media in a way to really surround consumers. And Bab said the advice that he gave to the person who asked the best question of the day was you have to be where the consumer is. And in most cases, consumers are migrating online. So how you reach those consumers is really changing. It's changing tremendously, and that's why we're all here today. The new consumer and particularly in India, what's so interesting and cool about India and Brazil and the Middle East and a few other emerging markets in technology and using the internet is that you get to skip all the stuff that countries like the US went through in trying to learn about this market. You actually have your users coming online more with mobile, more with the screens right in their hands versus the PC. And that is a whole different paradigm than what it was in the US. So for the next decade of marketing, we can look back to see what consumers worked with them, it's only interesting. It's not really a guide for the future. How you interact with your phone, how you interact with your tablet, how you interact with your PC is totally different. I'm going to just tell a quick story. I was in a waiting room on a personal appointment, and I brought my iPad with me. This is before I got on the plane to India. And I was reading all the stuff about ad tech and India and Delhi and how long does it take to really get to the Taj Mahal, all that kind of stuff. And suddenly, my phone starts going into the urgent text mode. Now, oh, who's that? It's my 8-year-old son from the school. Ma, where are you? Aren't you going to pick me up? I was 40 minutes late for picking up my own son. Not a story you want to tell, but the point of it is, and I've never done that before, honest. It's never happened before, ever. But why it's so interesting is there I was in this waiting room with my feet up on the coffee table, scanning through my iPad, and I lost track of time because I was so immersed in the content and I was so immersed in the experience. That typically doesn't happen with your phone. That typically doesn't happen sitting in front of your PC. So all this emergence of people using new devices, my point is that the marketing that worked yesterday doesn't work today. And for us to predict what's going to work in the future is not even reasonable to me, because we never could have predicted what we would think and how we would use the iPad. So I've always believed in integrated marketing, and I still do. As a matter of fact, it's kind of my #1 goal to my global marketing team is how do we make sure that our programs are fully integrated across all of the different channels that our consumers or our customers are influenced by. And at Yahoo, I get to see it from both those perspectives. Not only based on the craziness of my calendar, but also based on the audiences that I serve, I feel like sometimes I'm actually two CMOs. One CMO hat I wear is to think about the Yahoo brand. What does it mean to the world? What's the equity in that brand? What does it stand for? And how do I continue to make it great? On a totally different side, I wake up in the morning with my CMO hat on how do I talk and help my company in marketing and across the different functions to understand the advertiser and the agency needs so that they understand, at least I play my role from a marketing perspective of how they understand our value proposition in doing business with Yahoo. Two very different thoughts and two very different strategies to go attack. And so what I'm observing across both of these hats that I wear, there's a lot of what Babs talked about. I mean, Unilever's doing some amazingly forward-thinking things, making sure that it's integrated. You know, in India, in particular, what we call traditional marketing plays a really important role in lives, in culture, whether it's TV or whether it's outdoor advertising or whether it's print. It plays a really important role. But it can't play the role it's always played in the past, because in the past, consumers weren't also consuming media, information, connecting with friends on the internet through whatever device that they connect with. And so whether it's the stories that Babs told about the projects he's doing, or one of the teams that we work with at eBay, another example of an innovative marketing team, and you know, they've got a 7-person team on display.